what was that? I was just about to look up. Gail made me lose my train of thought with that departure. What was I going to look up? Something interesting. Anyway, I'm going to carry on because I've forgotten it. But yeah, Gail was funny. Leanne, we're going to come to you now, please, Leanne. Leanne.
Girl, I have missed you so
You too.
much.
It's been ages. Again.
I know. I'm sorry. I was like really unwell. So like I took a week off. I've been in the hospital, but I was like, let me just quickly scroll and I see you live. And then I see the idiot streaming your live. And I'm like, yeah, you guys know me. I'm going to say a little something about that. So this is just for those that are still watching the live.
Yes, carry on.
Go on. Did you want to play your video?
No, but you do your thing first and then I found it. But go on, go ahead.
Oh, okay, cool. So this is just a little PSA for those that thought they did a little something earlier and you're still watching it and still streaming it. If you want to talk, come into the live. There's no need to have a segment on Fox. Like, come here and have the conversation, you know?
It's so weak. It is so pathetic that you can't even come and have a conversation here. You're so scared to come and talk here or come to listen here that you have to go somewhere else and be like, yeah, that girl over there, she's talking like this. Come to the space, man. Last time I said man, they were like, don't call me man. Don't call me man.
It was just really sad because like their live was above your one. So I was like, wait, why am I seeing Fox as a big screen, but I'm not seeing Fox's name at the top? I was like, wait, hold up a second. And I've gone in and they're basically like berating you and basically saying, oh, like, you know, the usual crap. And I was just like, so hold on. You guys are streaming her live to say side comments when Fox is like, out of all the hosts on this app, Fox is the one that welcomes you people and she tells us not to really block you lot in the comments. So my thing is that come here. You guys are welcome. You guys are always welcome. Like, come here.
You're always
We're not scared of you.
Okay, let me be real for the people in the comment section, okay? So anyone who's here, you get dropped for blatant racism, blatant xenophobia. Like you get really, really, those are the only things that you get blocked for, or you should get blocked for. The mods are here, right? I don't really block anyone unless you say something really, really fucking horrible. That's when you get blocked, okay? You get muted for spam. You get muted for that. If you keep saying the same thing over and over again, you get muted for spam, okay? That's the only reasons why. Claire Forrester, please come up and explain what racism is. Come up and explain.
Yeah, I had to block a couple people in this live because a lot of people were actually trying to get this live locked off. So I had to block a couple of you people because, if you're trying to mess with the algorithm here, it ain't going to work here. We know how TikTok works.
Exactly.
So goodbye.
Exactly. Thank you.
But racists are always welcome here. Like, we love you lot here. We love to challenge you guys. And clearly some of you couldn't handle the heat in the kitchen, so you dropped yourself.
Yeah.
But apart from that, that was my little PSA to that. Secondly, in terms of the whole the late Henry that's passed away and then the George Floyd comparison, and it's also what you guys are doing, because I'm going to say you guys as a generalized statement, you guys are doing exactly what the UK government and politics are doing right now with it, is you guys have made it into a racial issue. When the guy was sadly unalived, did any black people come out and say, oh, look at the reverse racism going on here?
Never.
Kemi Bodinak spoken on it. LBC spoken on it. BBC spoken on it. Sky News have spoken on it. Every single person in this country, politically right now and news-wise, has spoken on it in a racial way. You guys have decided to use the free brain cells you've got to apparently take the knee. Do you know what's really sad? What's really sad about people taking the knee and the whole comparison to George Floyd? You guys don't know the difference between police brutality and police incompetence. Like actual incompetence. Oh, Moose, this isn't the live to get... just PSA, Moose, this isn't bye. This isn't the live for that, but bye.
We don't need to be dancing. This is a very serious conversation we're trying to have here. Continue, Leanne.
So just for those that apparently need education today. So police brutality. So as we all know, racism is systemic. Sorry, because I've got a migraine, so bear with my English, but it's systemic, right? So it affects not really the white people in this country, you know?
It doesn't affect them
because it's been proven. It doesn't really affect you guys because it's not in the system. There's no research, there's no statistic, there's no analysis, there's nothing out there report wise that proves systemically white people are oppressed by the police. Okay? Now, it's been proven multiple times. There's a lot of studies, data analysis, research that it happens to black and brown people, specifically more towards black people. Yeah. We've seen it time and time again. And Africa and you, Fox, you guys mentioned it and mentioned a lot of examples, you know. We can even go, not even far back. Somebody got unalived in Ireland, was it a couple of days ago in a club? And less than 24 hours later, they did another event.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of examples that we can categorically say about black and brown people. White people, on the other hand, it's really weird that when Henry has sadly been unalived and the family specifically have said, do not cause division, do not use our son's death in vain. And that's all you guys are apparently doing since, to the point where we've got politicians in the House of Commons saying, yep, you guys, let's respond with cold-blooded rage. The Prime Minister outwardly said, are you sick in the head? The family have directly said, don't do it, and you're doing it. It shows the type of person that you are, and yet you guys are still continuing to do it on lives, on social media, in the comment section. Yeah, but, you know, is this a race thing? But George, you guys didn't care about George Floyd when it happened. You guys didn't care about BLM movement. When BLM came out, you guys said, oh, white lives matter. Now, all of a sudden, BLM has turned into British Lives Matter. Are you guys sick in the head? Like, are you guys actually sick in the head? Have you guys looked at the statistics of British people? Like, British, or do you mean English?
What they mean...
Because when you want to have the conversation...
Yeah, what they mean is white English lives first. I told them that's the slogan they actually need to come up with. Stop trying to rebrand. Take white English lives, because then they can actually pick and choose when Henry is English enough or British enough. Because that leads me into a perfect segue, Leanne. English people, let's discuss about when, during Brexit, you did not like the Polish. Henry is Polish, okay? This is somebody, a Polish man that you unalived during that time, okay? Polish envoy voices concerns about Brexit xenophobia after Harlow unaliving. Ambassador to the UK says problem has become much worse since referendum as he visits the scene of Arkadiusz Jakowicz's unalivement. You English white people unalived a Polish guy simply because he was Polish. And this was his scene here. Okay? This is what you did to him. But the fact of the matter is, you only have this issue because it was a brown guy that did it. It was a brown guy. And as you guys rightly say, Henry was Polish. Digwa was from where? It's from India? From India? Pakistani? I'm not entirely sure. But again, these two people are not ethnically from the UK, because you guys make this a big deal. They're not ethnically from here. It's not ethnically from here. Indian, thank you so much. No, he was Sikh. Indian, thank you. Oh, he was from Punjab, is it? Anyway, this is again, like, we're talking about the double standard of white people and English people, okay? The double standard. You unalived a Polish guy during Brexit. You wanted the Polish out of the country. That's why you voted Brexit. You did not like Eastern Europeans. So why all of a sudden you want to protect him and use Henry as a thing? Like I said, you didn't care. I had this live the other day. You don't care about Henry. You don't care about Henry. And now if you want to use Henry as your poster child to say, hey, you know what, this is racism, even though racism did not play a part, why don't you actually pick somebody who's maybe a little bit less bullyish, which is what Henry did in his behaviour by the transcript, right? Because again, like we say, you're talking about black and brown people being bullies all the time. When they get unalived, you try to say that they're X, Y, and Z. This is it coming back to you. This is it literally coming back to you, okay? Leanne, do you have some more points to add? And then we'll move to Annie.
Yeah, because I was going to say, if I'm really trying to be on you guys' side, you know, the guys that say BLM matters, you know, British lives matter, whatever else, you guys care for Henry. I think, first of all, there needs to be a disclaimer. nobody is excusing what happened. I think we need to apply common sense in these conversations, yeah? The prompt is, why is nobody talking about Henry Nowak being a bully? It doesn't say because he was a bully, what happened to him should have happened. So again, clarification for those that are listening the other live that's streaming this. Hi guys.
I just put in the comment section. Hi everyone on the TV. Hi. Hello everyone.
Yeah,
I hope everybody is well. Today is Friday. Today is a lovely Friday. I hope the weather is really good where you are in the UK. I don't live in the UK anymore. Don't live in England anymore. So I hope everything is well. I know it's not, because your island of misery is crashing and falling apart. That's why I jumped ship so many years ago. So for those of you who are still there,
yeah, really sad that you guys are in the other live. Like you're more than welcome to come here, but it's fine. You know, tea is tea. But no one is excusing what happened. I don't know. You guys, clearly this is your first encounter with Fox. Fox holds lives about people's unalivements all the time. It's not the first live she's held about Henry. It's not going to be the last either. And just, you know, you guys do realize that it's incompetence that happened, right? When police attend on scene to a matter, whether it was a stabbing, pokey or not, the police didn't administer first aid. That's called police incompetence. They should have administered first aid. When the young boy sadly kept saying he has been pokeyed, he's been pokeyed, again, that is a cry for help to administer first aid and to call for the ambulance service. They did not do that. You guys saying, oh, but it's police brutality. Yeah, please tell me the history of white people being unalived. I'm going to say that again.
Yeah.
Unalived by police. It's not the police used excessive force on him. It's not that the police did anything to him directly for him to be unalived. They didn't administer first aid, which is a part of their job. So that's where they went wrong. If they administered first aid, who knows what would have happened next, if Henry might still be here, if maybe he had a lot longer to live. I think you guys' actual problem and main issue is the way in which he lost his life at the hands of the police. It's not the police made him lose his life.
Yeah.
It's the police aided his loss of life.
Yeah, I'm going to pick up on that point real quick, because I think this is very important, right? So there is this idea that the police, whether the police have said it, but it's come out to kind of see that the police may have been worried about seeming racist, okay? So that's obviously a narrative that is around this. We saw this during the G-gang situation, right? That the police were not taking the victims seriously because of the perpetrators being brown. That's not our problem. That's not our issue. If white people are worried about seeming being racist and they're not actually seeing the case fully, why is that our fault? This is because white people are not actually understanding race and racism, the thing that they created themselves. They're not understanding it. If you have a racial bias, right, that's your problem. If you're not seeing the situation and you can't see it without race being an issue, that's your problem. Why are you blaming Digwa? Why are you blaming black people? Why are you blaming brown people? The issue is white police officers do not understand race. If you're a police officer and you're coming to the situation like we brought up, right? You see a situation, there's a brown guy, there's a white guy. The white boy was on the floor already. Why is the police going to him and trying to arrest him when he's on the floor? He's not a threat. You go to the scene, you say, hey, brown boy, what you saying? Hey, white boy, what you saying? The white boy was on the floor. Why is it all of a sudden the brown and black people's fault that the white person arrested the white boy on the floor? Why? It literally doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. If you white people actually took some time to understand your own unconscious bias and your own internalized racism, then you don't get it. No, listen, it doesn't matter if Digwa lied. Take that out of the situation, white people. Imagine you're a police officer. Hello. Go to the scene. Brown boy, standing, talking about he's got attacked. White boy, on the floor, falling over, can't even make sense of the stuff that he's saying, okay? They need to go and get his testimony. They need to go and do that. That's what they need to do. Why are they arresting the boy on the floor? Why? Why? The boy should also give the reasoning as to why he's on the floor. Why am I on the floor? He said these things. It is the police that has the problem by doing that and saying you are the problem. It is the police's fault. Entirely. He was, thank you, exactly, Mac. He was on the floor. He was non-threatening. Why was he then being arrested? Why? On the floor, non-threatening. No, he didn't. Digwa, let's read the transcript, okay? You guys, I work in facts here. This is the judiciary, okay? This is the transcript from the court, okay? Flip the camera. Oh, let's read it together, everybody. I will read it for you, for those of you who cannot read. This is, okay, the Judiciary of England and Wales. This is the transcript from His Honour Judge William Mosley. You said that Digwa had previous convictions. Let's read this together. Point 3. You are 23. In December 2025, you were 22 and had no previous convictions. Now, may sit down for now, okay? So please stop repeating propaganda. Stop repeating the things that you want to say because you love racism so much and racism is your little baby. I work in facts, okay? I don't work in opinions. I just need to change this because my background just disappeared. My thing is just gone. Where is it?
There you go.
It's down there at the bottom though. Anyway, yes, now we're going to move to Annie, please. Thank you, Leanne. Please stick around and please. Oh yeah, can you do your panel thing?
I wanted to say
can you do your panel thing? Because I need to fix this background.
Yeah, I'll do my panel thing. I just wanted to say one more thing and then I'll do my panel thing. Yeah. If you guys really care about how the police handled the late Henry, instead of focusing on George Floyd and taking a knee, maybe go to the petition website and start a petition about how the police can't do their job that Black and brown people have been saying for however many years. On top of that, if you guys really care for white people, you would care about the white cousins. I think it was 2 of them. They were unalived at Brighton Beach. Was it last week or the week before? But I didn't hear any of you talk about that. You guys would have spoken about the white boy that was wrongfully arrested a couple of days ago by the police and they used excessive force on him. None of you were speaking about that. There was an unalivement the other day of another white person, which again, I didn't hear any uproar. So my thing is, you guys are very selective on what you clearly want to outrage because it's more of a political thing for you rather than an actual like police issue. So I think you guys should go to Google and maybe research more white people that have been unalived or maybe have not been in the best way. They've not been in the best way done by the police. I think you guys should more focus on what to do rather than having conversations about George Floyd because you can't compare the 2 deaths.
Absolutely.
And then secondly, for those of you that are streaming the live, keep streaming it. Love the entertainment. Hope you're getting 300 plus views. Love it. Thanks for promoting the beautifully Fox's face, you know. Those of you that don't follow Fox and you've been sitting here, how do you know you're sat in one live? Yeah, because you don't know brain cells. So Fox's name is in the top left-hand corner. If you guys just click her name and give her a follow, she'd much appreciate it. For those of you that already follow Fox, she has an orange heart me next to her name. If you haven't sent it already, send it in. It boosts the live. If you click Fox's name, let's go together. Click Fox's name and then you'll see her following count, her community. Then you'll see D1 gift gallery. 4 people have lit up her gift gallery already. There's 4 more to go. If anyone could gift that, much appreciated. You know, for those of the racists that are here, let's irritate them some more by tapping up the screen, gifting the beautiful woman some more. This isn't the first time that Fox holds these lives. Everyone that knows Fox holds racism down by the necks 24/7. We don't give a heck. And for those of you that are coming up on panel, please wait your turn. I know sometimes you might want to be itching to reply back to somebody. Please hold your thought. Please don't speak out of turn. If you're being a bit disrespectful, rude, racist, xenophobic, gender, whatever else, you do get muted, you do get blocked. Those of you that are in the comments that just want to spam, you're going to get blocked and muted. Those of you that want to come here and beg for gifts, please, you're going to get muted and blocked. Those of you that want to restrict the live, you're going to get muted and blocked. Those of you that don't want to be progressive, yeah, we're going to attack you in the comment section. And just a W to the Fox gang. Fox gang in the chat comment section. I see y'all. Those of you that always turn up ready to stand on these people's necks, shout out to all of you people because yeah, you guys know without all of us, yeah, these guys are gonna spread. Yeah, they're gonna keep spreading.
I think what's really important.
Big shout out to everybody here.
Thank you, Leanne, for that. Really appreciate that. I think what's really important to note on that point as well is that we need to understand that these spaces that we hold as Black people, actually not say we, me. This is always about black unity, brown unity, Asian unity, right? This space is for us, okay? And then we have white people who actually want to unpack their own racism and actually want to move forward with the times of the global majority, okay? This is exactly what this space is for. This is exactly what I do. I literally show white people for who they are, and so they can also unpack their own internalized racism, which a lot of them do here. They come here and they crash out and they say, oh my God, Fox, you're racist and blah, blah, blah. They play all the race card. They say white lives matter, all this kind of stuff. You see how I'm not bothered? Because white people, this is your crash out. You've never had times in history where you've had to be held accountable for your behavior, or you've never had to reflect upon the things that you do. I just point out the hypocrisy of you people. That's all I do. And again, I am holding up the mirror. If you see me through the mirror, through the window, that's cool. That's cool. I don't care. Because the fact of the matter is, this conversation is happening around the world. White people, it is your time to actually look at yourselves, because you've never looked at yourselves. You've been too busy pointing the fingers at everybody else. That is your whole entire history. Pointing the fingers at everybody else, seeing everybody else as the problem. Yeah. King V, thank you so much for pointing out the hypocrisy and pointing out that you're projecting. This is exactly what white people do. They project onto me because I'm the person who's bringing up this topic. No, it was a mistake, by the way. Whoever blocked Fifi, she is unblocked. It was a mistake by the mods. That's what happens. So, white people, you're very hypocritical. Like I said, and like I've said many times, you didn't care about the Eastern Europeans. You don't care for them. You wanted them out of the country. This is the reason why you voted Brexit, and you left Europe so you didn't want to have any more Polish people around. Unfortunately for you, Henry Nowak was still in the country. A Polish person that you didn't like. You unalived someone, like I said. You want to see it again, white people? Let me show you. The Polish person that you unalived because you didn't want Polish people in the country. You don't like Polish people. This is him again. Polish envoy voices concerns about Brexit xenophobia after Harlow unaliving. Ambassador to the UK says problem has become much worse since referendum as he visits the scenes of Arkudia's Jakowicz unalivement. You unalived a Polish guy. And they actually had to get Polish police out to patrol the area to make sure that other Polish people were protected, by the way. That's what you guys did. Black people didn't do that. Brown people didn't do that. Sikh people didn't do that. Muslim people didn't do that. English people did that. Rice cakes, why are you saying we didn't do that? Oh, is it you? I hope you're on our side. I don't know. But anyway, this is exactly what you do. You pick and choose. And all of a sudden, Henry is white enough and he's British enough for you to care about him. But you don't care about him. You're using a photo of him unaliving as a means for a protest. The most disgusting thing you can do in terms of activism is use a photo of somebody being unalived. Horrific. Absolutely horrific. Thank you so much. I'm finally going to Annie. Annie, I know I've said your name like 1,000 times, but Annie, we are definitely going to you now. Annie, are you there? I've asked you to unmute, Annie. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes. How are you today?
Hi. Right, I'm British and white and what have you. I'm not got no racist in me. But I've come across you live now today, and I feel that your heading is against a white person, because there has been a lot of white conversations brought on this today. I am come to argue. I haven't come, like I said, I'm not racist.
Annie,
But I feel
please.
this is the wrong content today. You've been asking for gifts. You've been asking for followers. You've been asking for
No, I haven't.
and what have you.
That was
I think
me.
you should respect Henry's family.
Yeah.
And take, you can sit back, you've laughed, you made, the white people feel as though they dealt with what you're going, you're laughing back and forth. If you respect anybody, white, black, or whatever, you should be taking your wording down at the top, respecting his family, respecting whoever else that it is disrespectful, and you're laughing at us.
No.
All right,
not at all.
I know, let me ever say, I know that the police didn't help with helping Henry. I agree. Yes, I am well in the comments. I would help any person if it's the colour of anybody. But at the end of the day, he was stabbed multiple
Please.
times.
What?
Oh,
What?
He
pokey
was
pokey, by the way.
stabbed.
One minute.
Pokey pokey,
He
say
was
pokey
stabbed a
pokey.
few
Please
times.
don't say that word, please, Annie. I just have to mute you for a second, okay? Please don't use that word. We need to censor ourselves, okay, Annie? I'm going to ask you a question, Annie. What do you think about English people rioting when the family have said don't use racism? What do you think about that, Annie? What do you think about that?
Sorry, say that again. I was speaking.
Yeah, I said, what do you think about people rioting in the streets over Henry's unalivement? What do you think about it?
It's getting out of hand now. It's in a local county tonight near me. My granddaughter
So 1 minute,
is
Annie,
not
Annie,
allowed
1
to
minute,
go there to the town
Annie,
in the
1
day
minute,
now
Annie,
because of
Annie.
these
I just want to
protests.
know what
They
you.
are going
I
up.
just want to know what you think about it, Annie. Not what you're doing. I just want to know your thoughts about it.
The protesting is wrong. I will
Why?
agree with that. It's
Why?
not getting anywhere. It's not helping Henry, what have you. But like I'm feeling
Yeah, 1
today
minute, 1
now,
minute. I'm going to ask
you
you.
were
I'm going to
going
ask you a
back, you
few.
laugh.
Annie, 1 minute, please. I'm just going to ask you a
Sorry.
few questions, okay, Annie? So you agree that the protesting is wrong? Okay, cool. Have you seen on here that people are using the photos of Henry being unalived as their profile pictures? Have you seen this?
No, but the protest can be
No, 1
quiet
minute.
and done properly. There could be protests. This is where it's going. It's dividing everything.
Annie, please. I'm asking you one. You don't need to go on to the next thing. I'm trying to get I've let you do your monologue and I sat back and listened. I'm just going to ask you some questions because this is what happens when we have a back and forth communication, right? I'm going to ask you some questions and you just need to reply back to me. That's all you need to do. So you said that you agree that the protesting is wrong and you haven't seen the profile pictures. Okay. So this is what I'm getting at. What I'm getting at and why I'm asking you these questions is because of the reason why this prompt is as it is. And I don't think that you might be able to understand this, but I will try to explain it again very slowly for everybody here. Okay. The image of Henry has been used in a way as it to be a protest thing, right? You're saying that the protesting is wrong. You're saying that you haven't seen the image, but this is what we're seeing, okay? We're seeing the image of Henry used in a way to actually cause some riots. Thank you so much, Leanne, for the correction. It was rioting. This is exactly what they were doing, okay? But at the same time, when we, as Black and brown people, have a picture of somebody or say that this happened to somebody and we just go and we protest and they turn into riot, people say, well, why are you doing that for? That's a problem. And then they start to vilify our Black and brown brothers for the same things that you guys don't want me to talk about, Annie. This whole thing is hypocrisy. You say that George Floyd was a C-head. You say that Eve Sakila shouldn't have been stealing in a store. You say all these things about Black and brown people. Your people, Annie, say these things about Black and brown people. So why can't I say that Henry Nowak was being a bully? Because I'm literally looking at the case and seeing that he was bullying Digwa. Why can't I say that, Annie? Why? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Like I said, I'm not racist.
No, Annie,
Protest,
Annie. Did you hear what I
protest,
said?
yes, riots, no.
Annie, muted again. Annie, can you hear me when I talk, Annie? Annie, can you hear me when I talk? Can you hear me, Annie? I've asked you to unmute. Annie, can you hear me when I talk? Oh, for some reason I can't unmute you, Annie. It's saying that you have to do it in 34 seconds or something like that. Anyway, this is just about hypocrisy. This is all this live is. It is.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you're back now. Yes. So can you hear me when Annie, when I'm making a point, are you understanding my point of what I'm making and why the prompt is as it is? Why it's
Some
up
of
there?
it, no, I'm not.
You're not,
because
okay.
you like,
No,
you come
there's
across belittling me.
Annie.
You're laughing with your other people.
I'm sorry, Annie. We have to drop you. I'm
can't
sorry.
you put a little picture
Annie,
up the top?
Annie, I'm so sorry. I have to drop you because the point is that this prompt, this is why it's here. If you're not understanding, you're saying no, and I'm trying to help you understand, but you're not wanting to understand, Annie. So that's why you can stay in the comment section now, Annie. You're not even asking me questions and you're not even allowing me to explain even more. You're not even allowing it, Annie. So where are we going to go? All you're doing is saying, yeah, but you this and you this. That's not the point. That is not the point. There is nothing that Annie... Why should I let Annie speak, please? Because the point is that the prompt is of why it is. Annie is not actually here to be understood or understanding, sorry. Annie is not trying to understand why this prompt is as it is. So there's no point. That's why Annie needs to stay in the comment section and actually listen, okay? Just listen. Okay, we've got now Shem74 in the comment section, on the panel. Shem74, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, thank you so much. So what would you like to add to the conversation today, please, Shem? Oh.
Well, with me, the whole thing, I think your prompt, okay, if you want to put that up, but I think it's a bit disingenuous at this moment in time.
Why?
It's so soon, after what it's all come out.
Hold on a minute,
and
Shem.
also-
Shem, what do you mean it's so soon? This
No,
came
you
out
see,
in
this is the
December.
trouble is,
Shem, this was
is the trouble
December.
with you,
This is
Fox.
December.
You don't allow anybody to talk. You don't allow anybody to talk.
I'm correcting you, Shem. This happened in December.
Yeah, well, I don't... Correct me when I've finished speaking, then.
No, I don't need to do that. Continue.
No, okay, then.
Continue.
Right. So, how do you know that he was a bully?
I've explained this very clearly. Did you not hear?
I probably did, but it was such a long while. I waited so long, I forgot.
Oh, no. Sorry about that. Okay, let me explain exactly why the prompt is as the prompt. Again, I'm very tired, guys. Very tired. Okay, here is...
Well, you're doing an awful lot of shouting, that's why.
Microaggressions are not tolerated here, Shem, so I'm going to drop you for microaggressions. Nobody's shouting
Yeah.
here. Nobody is shouting.
I was
Everybody's
gonna
talking.
say Fox. I was gonna say Fox. By the way, Shem is a known racist on this app, so I wasn't expecting much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. So again, this is the case, guys. This is the case. This is exactly what happened with Henry, okay? In this transcript, this is not the full transcript. Of course, I have the full transcript over here from the judiciary, which I've also referred to, okay? That's the full. What we're looking at here is what Henry did himself, okay? I don't go by opinions. I don't go by feelings. I go by facts. The fact is that there was a video of the incidents found on Mr. Nowak's phone, which was discovered in Digwa's pocket. So at some point in time, Digwa had taken Henry Nowak's phone. But on the video played to the juries, Nowak can be heard saying, "Hello, car," and singing to himself before yawning, with the footage then cutting to show Digwa walking away. Digwa was walking away, okay? He was walking away. If he actually had intent to hurt Henry, why would he be walking away? He was walking away. But then Mr. Nowak is heard saying then, "In it, bad man. What bad man? You're a bad man. Say you're a bad man. Go on." He was intimidating him. He was coercing him. He was bullying him, okay? In another transcript, it said that that Henry started filming him, hold on, up here, where is it? Yes, Digwa, who is Sikh, was carrying a thingy in a sheath on his belt, which Nowak then began filming on his phone, the judge said. Judge Mosley commented that it is a strict requirement of the Sikh faith to carry a thingy called a kirpan at all times. So Digwa was doing what he was supposed to do, right? He's allowed to carry the kirpan. He's allowed to carry this ceremonial knife. It was Henry that got out his phone, started filming Digwa, and then started to say, "Come on then, you're a bad man." That's intimidation. That's bullying. That's coercion. That's why the prompt is as it is. That's why I've written that there. So why is nobody talking about that part? Okay? That's my question. Why is nobody talking about that part? Because again, all you're seeing is the outcome, right? He bullied somebody and he chose the wrong person. Unfortunately, Henry lost his life. And this is the whole point. Don't try and pick a fight with somebody and think that they might not come back to you. Honestly, don't do it. Why are white people trying to pick fights with people Why are you pulling off people's turbans, like they said? Why are you pulling off people's hijabs, which we know that white people are doing in the UK? Why are you doing that? Why are you trying to goad black people, brown people, people of faith? Why are you trying to do that? Why are you trying to do that? Don't do it, because somebody will turn around and do this to you. This is a warning for you. This is a warning. Don't do it. Don't do it. Again, white people in the comment section, you just don't understand. You just don't understand. So does that mean that he deserves to be unalive? Does that mean? I don't understand this logic that white people have. I don't understand it. Why are you not being able to actually see the facts and the story? You always go over here, over there, over there. Like, justifying. Nobody's justified anything. This was the outcome of his consequence. And unfortunately, it was tragic what happened. It was terrible what happened. Really and truly, absolutely terrible and disgraceful what happened to Henry. If you are a person who is Digwa, why did you feel like you needed to respond in that way? Digwa should have had some self-constraint in that situation, and he really didn't. Digwa did not constrain himself at all. He chose wrongly, and now he is suffering the consequence of his action, because both of them behaved in a way that was unacceptable. Henry was antagonizing. He met his consequence. Digwa reacted. That's also his consequence. He's in prison for 21 years minimum. He did terrible things. He did wrong things. This is why he's in prison. This is what justice looks like. You do something wrong, you end up in prison. Leanne, and then I'm going to move to User.
I was going to say one thing, just so people have some kind of brain cells here. When the late Eve Sakila was unalived, we had a plethora of people saying, but he's a criminal, but he's a criminal, but he's a criminal. Now when we are applying that exact same mindset that you guys applied to the late Eve Sakila, that he was an alleged criminal, saying in this scenario, the late Henry Nowak was bullying, it's now wrong. Nobody's justifying. We are applying the exact same mindset you guys have towards black and brown people being unalived. We are applying the exact same concept that you guys do. That's it.
Yeah. So in the comment section, okay, guys, tell me what you think about George Floyd, or tell me what you think about Eve Sakila, okay? This is mainly for the white people, okay? Tell me what you think about George Floyd and Eve Sakila. Just the white people in the room. Can you do it, please? What do you think about these people? Tell me what you think about these people, okay? George Floyd and Eve Sakila. Or anybody, any black person. Like, can you tell me what you think about who are no longer with us? Oh, are the white people scared now? Where are they? Where's their point? Where's their opinions? Okay, someone says criminal. He was unalived, blind prejudice, effed around and found out. What happened to him was awful. White people, excuse me, where's the rest of your opinions?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When it comes to the black and brown people, we're criminals. We deserve to be stopped and searched. We should just walk away. We get unalived. You know, it's our fault. Yeah, it's always about racism. You guys always place the race card, but where's that?
Yeah,
where is it?
White people. Now all of a sudden, some people in the comment section are saying nobody should be unalived. Exactly. That's the whole point.
That's our point.
That's the whole point.
That's the whole point.
Nobody said he should. Henry shouldn't be unalived. You're now saying that, oh, George Floyd shouldn't be unalived because you're not willing to say things about him. Guys, I always get you every single time. I always catch you in your hypocrisy every single time. Julie says all lives matter. Julie, and any person in the comment section, when has certain lives or which lives matter less? Like, when have you ever thought that white lives or any other lives matter less? Like, when in history have you said this? Or anyone in the comment section, can you tell me any time when a certain group of people, their lives have mattered less? Just give me some time in history or common, now or anything like that. Anyone? Anyone can say this? Anyone? Any answers, anybody? World War II. So you think lives mattered less, white lives mattered less in World War II? You do realise that was all white people, right? That was white people? World War Two, World War One is all white people. The only reason why there was black and brown people in there is because of colonization and because of the Commonwealth and dragging black and brown bodies in there as cannon fodder. So how was lives mattering less? Generally at that point, everybody's lives were equally as disposable there. Everybody's lives were equally disposable by the 1%. So that wasn't actually putting anyone into a hierarchy, okay? So that's not quite the example that I'm looking for. So no one else has been able to give any sort of example. Okay, thank you so much again for proving my point. Leanne, and then I'm going to go to User and I'll come back to you, Leanne. User,
yeah, no, go ahead.
Thank you. User, are you there? Yes. Yes, User.
Hi there, yes.
Hello.
So I just want to first of all say this is my second time I've come across you, and I think you're brilliant. I think you're very articulate, intelligent. You're really well researched. So before I go on to make maybe a criticism, I just want you to know that I do think you're absolutely brilliant.
You don't need to, what does it call it? Like button me up or anything like that. Just say what you want to say.
No.
I don't need it.
So I think, I cannot disagree with anything you said. My only concern at the moment is we know that they want there to be race wars. We know that I've only come across you the second time, but the whole thing with digital ID, control matrix, they need there to be a civil war or riots or some sort of emergency as their ruse, as their excuse to bring in the digital ID. So they're doing this very deliberately. The people that are riled at the moment, unfortunately, because you keep saying white people, it's not white people, it's sort of uneducated, ignorant white people.
They are still white people, are they not?
I know, but it's not all white people. So there's
probably all white people.
No, but
and white people do come to the panel and they do understand the conversation. So when I say white people, it is for the people who to get triggered by that. It is those white people.
The thing is, I don't know percentage wise which is more, but I think that there's more people on our side, white people on our side, than the Tommy Robinsons, than the ignorant. But that group, unfortunately, is so triggered, so riled from the years and years and years of being, Tommy Robinson is like the stick that's being used by the Zionists, by the powers that be, to stir the shit. Maybe I shouldn't be using that word, but he's being used. And the thing is, he has riled them. So they are getting...
I'm going to be a little bit real with you, User. I'm going to be a little bit real. The fact of the matter is, and I talk about history a lot, so maybe you don't know that part about me, anything that you've actually seen on my platform, I don't know. I talk about the history as it is and how it got to the place it is. The country was built on racial hierarchy, okay? It was built with racial hierarchy in mind. All you need to do is Google racial hierarchy in the British Empire.
Yeah.
In England alone, there has been 25 race riots, I think, or 24 race riots against black and brown people. 25 since 1919, okay?
Right.
25. In Brexit, 51% was it that voted Brexit. A big portion of those people did not want Eastern Europeans in the country. They had signs, remember, saying no blacks, no dogs, no Irish. Racism lives within the UK. And if you say it's a minority of people, you're only thinking about the minority of people that are bold enough to actually be out in the streets. But historically, there's been the NF, there's been the BNP, there's been all kinds of racial groups. And also those people who are working in the back offices. You also have systemic racism. So people who are in power, who are also still oppressing black and brown people. They're not marching in the streets. And also you see in schools where you have teachers who are also being racially biased against black and brown children in schools. So please don't think it's as a minority. Even people when are not intentionally being racist, they're still upholding racism. That's how the UK works. That's how the UK works. And thank you here in the comment section. Britain just masked their racism better because all you're doing is comparing it to America. But in America, they're really out and out with their racism.
So I agree.
Very clever.
Like I said, Yeah. So like I said, I do agree with you on the facts. There's absolutely, no arguments there. My suggestion is, look at the situation we're in right now. Look at what they're doing, which is going to totally destroy the most basic civil liberties that we have, totally destroy them because of the fact that there's more and more people being divided further and further apart.
I understand your point. What you're trying to say is, Fox, why are you playing into the division? Right? That's what you need to say. That's your question. You're asking me because you're understanding that the country is going down a very terrible route. Why am I playing into that route by having this topic of conversation? It makes no difference of me having this prompt up there, by the way. Like how Neanderthals are going to behave is how they are going to behave. They've been doing this before. Like, that's is why I bring up history, okay? Nothing that anybody does, black people, brown people, we be quiet, we follow the rules. Eastern Europeans, same thing. We always play the game. We've always been quiet. It has never stopped them, okay? This does not add to any division whatsoever. It really doesn't. They want to find any excuse to feel riled up. That is the whole thing. They will look for anything. They spend hours now online looking for things and looking for reasons to get upset. This is what this mindset is. It's not our mindset. It's everybody else's. And at the same time, we are also preparing ourselves because we know the consequence. Every time white people, English people get rolled up, we always be the bearer of the consequences of that, okay? So this is the thing where now it's black and brown people, how are you going to stand up for yourself again this time? And this is what exactly we need to be actually prepared for, okay? That's what, and this is why it is calling black and brown people, because my platform is for black and brown people. It ain't for white people. So it doesn't matter what I say up there. It's for us here to recognize their hypocrisy, to see all of the ways that they actually manipulate situations, manipulate conversations, and really show them for who they are so that we are prepared. This is exactly why I have that prompt. This prompt is not for them. I don't give a shit about them. I don't care. My videos on my page are always like, English people, English people. My content's not for English people. It's not for them. It's for them to be triggered. It's for them to actually start to reflect upon themselves and their behavior. So does that make sense, user?
Okay, so if your intention is to trigger them...
No, it's not. I just said, user, my platform is not for them. I just said it's not for them. It's not intentional.
Okay, but they do... The thing is, they do come on.
Am I now responsible for white people's triggered behavior? Am I responsible for that?
The point, remember the
user, am I responsible for white people being triggered? Am I responsible?
You're not responsible for them being triggered, but there's a consequence. Just like you're saying that there's a consequence of how what's his name, Henry, was provoking the other guy. There was a consequence. There's a consequence also with what you're putting out. Now, I think that your content is brilliant, but it's unfortunately in this situation, it's just at the moment where we are in history, at the precipice of literally being totally and utterly taken over by, a fascistic system with Palantir, digital ID.
Let's go away from the topic, user. Do you not think that white people say hurty words should hurt you?
Of course.
Why would white people be so triggered by this? Okay, they always talk about that we should not get affected by words. This is all I'm coming at, user.
So this cannot disagree with you on the facts.
So what is the difference? You're not.
I cannot disagree with you on the facts. Okay, you are, and you're also absolutely entitled to, come at this in the way that you are. Except there is just one big, massive, huge situation that's facing all of us.
We are all aware. I don't think that you're very aware though, user. I am going to drop you now, unfortunately. Like, I feel like we're going back in circles. I understand what you're trying to say. Like I said, you're telling me that I am playing into the hands, but I'm not seeing that. I'm not looking at that. I'm calling out hypocrisy. Like I said, it doesn't matter if I have this prompt or I don't have this prompt. It makes no difference because the history is there. The history is there. Exactly. fascism already exists without me having this prompt. This is for us here. This is for us, right? This is for us. Right, okay, we've got Romy next, please. Romy, how are you again today? Romy.
Hello everyone. I just wanted to say, can you hear me properly?
Yes, all good.
Okay, I just wanted to say that they need to release the footage on Henry's Snapchat. We need full transparency.
Full.
Because everyone wanted the footage from the police cam, and they're holding the police to account now what they did wrong. And I don't think whatever Henry said he didn't deserve to die. Vickram was 100% wrong. But just for the whole public to see fully what happened, that footage needs to be released.
It's important. It's very important. But at the same time, we know what white people will do. Like, we know it doesn't matter if like I gave hypotheticals earlier. The thing is, we talk a lot on here about actually how white people study us. The problem is they don't study themselves. We actually have the ability to see them for who they are. Even if it comes out that Henry had something on him, like even if he didn't, but even if, and like I said earlier, even if it came out that he poked Digwa, they would still be like, well, it doesn't matter now because Henry is the one who lost his life. They would not care. They would not care. It doesn't matter actually, even if the full footage has come out, because they've already made their mind. There's nothing to change their mind. What is important for us as black and brown people is, like I said, is they're using our black power fist. They're using BLM. They're talking about Sikhs like they're some terrible people, which they absolutely aren't. They're trying to get the Kirpan banned, even though it was never even used. This is what English people do. This is what white people do. In their fragility, they think that everybody else is a problem. They don't think that they are a problem. And again, like I called out earlier, why are you standing up for Henry Nowak, right, when you unalived the Polish guy during Brexit? Why are you doing that? You wanted all the Polish and all the Eastern Europeans out of the country. So why all of a sudden do you like Henry Nowak? Oh, only because he was unalived by a brown guy. That's the only reason why. Romy.
Thing is, the court documents say that Henry was the aggravator, but I think until they actually see the whole picture on these Snapchats, I think that's going to make a big difference. Even though they'll still make excuses, but still it'll be in their faces, and they won't be able to really say anything. Then
they will. They always do. They'll still say, but he was unalived at the end of the day. Like, that's it. The only people that will see it are us, but we already recognise that. We already recognise that. But, you know, it needs to come out. It needs to be in full. It needs to be from both phones, because why is it that we're not seeing more about Digwa's phone, what he recorded? You know, and then this is how things are supposed to be. They're supposed to be fair. Right, there's a lot of bias that I've read in the reporting already, like the judge making it be like, the way he said it was cheekily. That is not an unbiased judge.
Yeah.
Don't tell people how you think someone is behaving. Judge, you are not unbiased. You are on the side of the boy, of Henry. That's not unbiased.
Also, I've seen a picture of the thing that he used, the Persian thing, and Digwa's hair was on that. On the top.
Yes.
So, like, in this video on the snap, maybe we can see what exactly happened. Like, how did Digwa's hair get on that thing?
Very true. I never thought about that. You're absolutely right. Let's talk about that bit. Digwa had said, I felt like he was going for my thing.
Turban.
Yeah, and he told him he pulled
that
off
thing
his
as well,
turban. He told him he pulled off his turban. He told him that. And he said, I felt like he was going for that as well. Yes, you've made a very, very good point. Did he? Well, I don't know. Were the fingerprints taken off of? Thank you so much, Gifted Star. Thank you. Were the fingerprints taken? They must have taken the fingerprints.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah. If
also, I want to say to the Sikh community that we're not on trial. Like, don't. I'm sick of this like collective apologies from the Sikh community. We're all sorry. We're not on trial. Like, the guy that did wrong, he's in jail and where he should be. So, yes, we are giving our condolences to Henry's family, but, like, stop putting us on trial. We did nothing wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much, Romy. Okay, we're going to go to Namor next, please. Namor, how are you? Namor. Nick.
Hello, how are
Hello.
you?
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So yes, this is the topic. Of course, you've understood the conversation. I know you tried to come up yesterday, but I was yesterday or the day before, but I was ending it. So I'm so glad that you're here on the panel. What would you like to add, please?
For me, like I am very passionate. So as a black man, a lot of people will call that aggression. Feel free to do so. For me, none of these people actually care about Henry. None of them care about Henry. All of these people are trying to make this a race war, as the other person correctly said. This is not about a boy dying. You don't care about that boy dying, because the fact of the matter is that boy was stabbed and handcuffed by police.
Censor your language, please.
I am so sorry. That boy was handcuffed. And you, instead of being mad at police, you are mad at the entire Sikh community. You're rioting. You're turning this into something that it absolutely is not. None of you care about that boy. You just care about spouting hate and division. And you deny fact, especially to compare this to George Floyd is absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And to say that it's racism is absolutely disgusting. We have historical examples of black voices being silenced. And these are long-term patterns of exclusion and division, even within politics. And this case is a specific unaliving. So to compare that to years of generational racism that black and POC people have faced specifically within this country is absolutely disrespectful, and it is intellectually dishonest. You understand that, especially, you know, when we're hearing people talk about, oh yes, two-tier policing. Number one, you've only just learned that word. You've only just learned what it meant from somebody else, because none of you have had an original thought in your life. And not only that, we've had two-tier policing, but when it was on the other side, y'all failed to recognize that. And now that you feel like two-tier policing is a thing, right? Okay. Which is another example of systematic racism. Voices don't matter until it's one of you.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing. It is the hypocrisy, like I'm talking about. It is the cognitive dissonance. It is the way that they don't understand anything until it actually happens to them. And then when it happens to them, it doesn't happen to them in an extreme way, because they just take the tiniest thing and just blow it out of proportion. Like, these people are so dramatic. So dramatic. And like I said earlier, if they'd actually been listening to black and brown people this whole time, they wouldn't have been in this situation right now. They would have had so much fairer rights. They would have actually had a better justice system. Like everything that's in the country, if you actually listen to black and brown people, every single standard would be so much higher. It would. Every standard would be so much higher. But unfortunately, white people in the UK have not taken enough time to understand race and racism. It has been something that has made you feel very triggered and very defensive. And that is a problem. Thank you. Namo, do you have any more points to add before I move to... I think Mimi was before, and I don't know why Yaya's his box is underneath, but I think Mimi was after. Namo, have you got...
It's like
Okay, thank you. Namo, have you got...
Just one small thing. And one of the details that I'm seeing is that a lot of these riots, I live in Liverpool, there was literally a riot right outside my student accommodation, and they were screaming, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. Yeah. I genuinely believe that is the most disrespectful thing in the world, because when the man died in Ireland, God rest his soul, were you taking a knee for that? Were you talking about I can't breathe then? No, you were not. Disrespectful. It's disgusting.
Yeah, thank you so much, Namo. Leanne, can you do a reset for me, please? I need to fill my thing up because I've been on for 3 hours and I'm thirsty. Please.
Have you? Yes. Oh my gosh, girl, you're doing too well. Okay, everybody, welcome to the live. Y'all know how it go. I'm Leanne, her little sidekick. So I need you guys to Fox's name in the left-hand corner. Go gift her up. Go give her a follow. If you follow Fox already, the heart me that's next to her, please make sure you send that in. Those of you that have been here for a long time and you're seeking the knowledge, seeking the wisdom, and you're on, the correct fact side of things, Please gift up the live. Follow people that are on the panel that you align with. Anyone that said amazing things, make sure to follow them. Make sure to gift them up. Make sure you're tapping the live. Let's all wave in the comment section to the other live that's watching all of us still. Everybody in the comment section, let's give them a wave because we're trending in the other live. Let's give them a wave. You know how it goes. Thank you, everyone, because we've got, 249 people here. Amazing. And then we've also got 110K likes. That is absolutely beautiful. I love that for the first time. I don't need to be telling all of you guys to like up the live as normal. Let's just keep going. For those of you that are welcome, have just come into the live, we don't tolerate overt racism. We don't tolerate sexism. We don't tolerate misogyny and so forth. Trolls in the comment section, those that want to be regressive for this live, we don't welcome you here. Those of you that want to have the conversation, those that want to challenge the prompt, those of you that want to challenge, this racial war that apparently we're starting, you're more than welcome to come up on panel. You're more than welcome to be in this space. You're more than welcome to, leave the live that you're streaming and come over here instead. We're not scared of people and we're not bullies. So, come here. You're more than welcome, unlike other lives. And another thing, Fox is the host. So we're not going to tell the host how to run her own lives, because I'm pretty sure in other lives, some of you have to gift up big gifts just to even speak on the panel or be on the panel. So let's not tell the host how to run her lives. If for those of you that haven't, this is your first time, might be new to you that people actually have decorum when they host lives, and we want to be progressive and have a conversation rather than entertain the drama and the BS. So let's get back to the live, guys.
Thank you so much, Leanne. Thank you so much. So yes, about that other live that is streaming me. Hello again. I hope everybody is well. I hope you're having a great Friday. It is very unfortunate that when you came to this space, you didn't understand the conversation. It is very unfortunate. But the fact is, black and brown people and the select white people are also vibrating on a higher level. Our intellectual level is too far beyond you. And that is very unfortunate, because instead of staying around for the conversation, you got very triggered and you left. Okay? It's very unfortunate. So everybody who is still here, even the people that are actually still triggered down here, you're still staying here. And I always say this, the people that are triggered, the fact that you're always here, I know that there's something in the back of your mind that is telling you to stay and telling you to learn something. Okay? I know. You want to learn something. But the problem is, unfortunately for you, like I said, the racial hierarchy has told you that black and brown people are the problem. And so you have to actually try to undo all of that. You feel yourself in conflict all of the time. As soon as an intelligent black woman starts talking, it immediately makes you go, oh my God, 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 I can't listen to her because society told me not to listen to her. That's your programming. So a lot of you are tasked with many things, what you have to do. Do you understand what Fox is saying? Or are you immediately going to be like, nah, she's the problem. But I'm just talking. I just have a prompt on the screen. I'm just talking. That's all I'm doing. But yet, you want to say that people like Nigel Farage is okay. You want to say that people like Tommy Robinson is okay. While those people are inciting violence and fighting and many other terrible things. Interesting. Am I worse than them? Truly? Am I worse than them? Cognitive dissonance, guys. Okay, yay. Yay. Thank you, Dark Angel. Thank you. Yay. Are you there?
Yeah, hello, yeah.
Hi. Yes. You can talk. Yay. What would you like to add to the conversation, please? This is about, of course, Henry Nowak being a bully. This is a case of hypocrisy that I'm talking about, which is, why is it that white people in the UK always vilify black and brown people? They are always, hi, yeah, you're back. They always talk about how we're terrible people, and even in our unalivement, they really do hammer it home that they do not like us as people. They're always saying that we're bullies and we do DRUGS and we're criminals and all this kind of stuff. But me saying that Henry Nowak was a bully based on the actual case is upsetting them. This is exactly what they do to us. But we're not going and streaming other lives or saying this is just about white people. We keep it moving. So yeah, this is the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, this is a different perspective, which is good. I mean, the way this guy is being sanitized by the media is just mind-blowing. You might think he is Jesus or something, I don't know. But we haven't got the full story. I mean, the guy, the perpetrator, he was pointing towards his eye. He said he was, he got injured, and we don't know the full story. And where are the street cameras, for example? Definitely, there was a scuffle between the two guys. But what happened before the incident? And we don't know that. And the thing has been hijacked by far right people to incite people to xenophobia and racism. That's why we saw what happened in Southampton, where we saw people's cars being vandalized by far right thugs. And this issue of taking the knee is basically it's making a mockery out of black people. Right? It's like they are literally talking down to George Floyd. Black Lives Matter is a slogan for the black man. And there is a context to that. When we see white people saying their lives matter and all that BS, it's just mind-blowing.
It's a disgrace. It's absolutely disrespectful. And again, like, I understand what User was saying. She was going around it in an interesting way. But the fact is that black people have been brought into this situation. So we do have to talk about it. Like, we do. It was because I saw somebody on my timeline posting about the knee. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, what the hell? What the hell? Why are they bringing black people into this situation? And so black people are in this situation, okay? We are here, and we're understanding exactly our role in this situation. Like I say, is to empower ourselves and to realize the type of activists that we actually do. Imagine this, right? That we are so powerful as people that white people in a situation that doesn't even involve us, right? Doesn't even involve us. It's become about us. Black people, I want you to actually understand how powerful we are as people just based on that. Why is it that a Polish boy in the UK is unalived by a Sikh boy, and yet black people, they're using black power, they're using Black Lives Matter, they're using the knee, they're using now wokeism, they're talking about ACAB. That's because of how powerful we are as people. So I want black people to get more confidence out here and understand that. Like, really understand that. Really, 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 really understand that, okay? Like I said, this whole topic is about hypocrisy. It is very much seeing about actually what we need to do as people, showing this very, very small percentage of uneducated white people in the UK and the things that they do. But the fact of the matter is, like I said earlier as well, it might seem like it's a minority, but there are people on the fence and people in the middle who are easily swayed onto the wrong side. Very, very easily done. And it's not for us to convince anything, because we've been fighting for a very long time. We've been honest for a very long time. This situation and story is about white people and their discrimination, in their hypocrisy, and whatever will be, will be. And I know exactly what's going to happen with them. And like I said, my prompt, it doesn't matter what my prompt is, because it's already been done. It's already been set. It's already been done. Since 2020, the story has been about white people. Are you going to be an actual activist? Are you going to be an ally? Are you going to decolonize? This has been the story for a long time. And everything that happened in 2020, have you continued the work? If you haven't, no. You are literally on the side of like, oh, am I, aren't I, am I, aren't I? Or you're on their completely wrong side, okay? This is where you're at now. So whoever's watching this stream and is in another live, you're on the wrong side and you don't see it. You don't see it. And again, white people, I'm out of the country. So I'm watching your downfall from afar. I'm watching it from afar. I knew the island that I grew up on, unfortunately. I moved 5 years ago because I knew exactly how it was going. I knew you were going to turn on yourselves because historically that's what you've always done. If there is no scapegoat around you, a black person, a brown person, a gay person, a disabled person, Like any other person, if there's not that person, a woman, then you turn on yourselves. And so I had to get out of there. Okay, Mimi next.
Hi, sorry, I requested again because I was absolutely flabbergasted and enraged by the person attempting to tone police you. Let me tell you something. There is absolutely no way on God's green earth that in my presence you're ever going to try and tone police a black woman over someone who's speaking up about what's going on and injustice. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. The onus should and always will be with the oppressor, not on the oppressed. You don't come into a black panel with a black woman at that and tell her about how her actions will be perceived, because you negate the fact that the harm has already been done by the other side. You're not going onto those panels and telling them that they're falling into a race war. You're coming onto our panels. We see in the comments, I'm not racist. I didn't do that. Bun that, I don't care. I don't want to hear those platitudes. Go into those racist spaces and tell them what they're doing is wrong, because that's far more powerful and effective than you coming to me and preaching to me and attempting to deny my experience and my history. It's just not going to happen. We have seen in this country austerity since 2002 or whenever it was, a gross underfunding of housing, education, and the NHS, right? All this has not been done overnight. All of this was done by the whitey population, the majority whitey population's consent. You lot weren't out here burning places down. You weren't putting up no protests or anything like that. You sat here and you wrung your hands. When we warned you that it would come back on you, when we warned you that there'd be consequences to there being no police, when we warned you about that, taking away your human rights and stuff and being dehumanized, you sat there and thought it didn't include you, so therefore it didn't matter. It's now coming back to bite you on your backsides. The focus on this conversation should have always been and should be on the police's failure and ineptitude, as Leanne said. But instead, you've allowed it to be co-opted into an attack on the Sikh community, brown people, and then you brought us, because you weren't getting the reaction that you wanted, you brought us as black people into it, raising stuff like George Floyd and the riots that happened there. You're incorrectly using them. And if the funny thing is, you're not even getting, no matter how much we say to you, you're using the wrong examples. I can give you examples that you could have used, but you haven't even bothered to do the work. That's how lazy you are. It's given obsession. You are obsessed with black people. You're obsessed with our black history, and you don't examine your own history. You don't learn from your own history, and that is why you resent us. Because when things happen to the black community, as much as you try to tell us that we're divided and all the rest of it, we will unite, we will roll out, we will pick up ourselves and do what needs to be done. And it's always black women, because that's how we get shit done. We always come out, we always write. And the worst thing about it, as I said earlier at the beginning of the conversation, we don't just come out for our own community. Every single thing that we have done is always bring in and to try and elevate the collective consciousness and the collective humanization of us as a people. You guys don't do that, and that's why you're upset, because now you're expecting us to join you. You're so lazy you couldn't even bother to come up with your own slogans. You're co-opting practices and our black liberation movement incorrectly, I might add. Not to say that, because if you bother to read, you had your own that you could have used from. I can think of at least 3 slogans that you could have gone for, but instead you went with ours. Why? Because you're obsessed and you're jealous. It is white narcissism. And the funny thing is about it, those of you that are in on the chat like, oh, what do you mean white people? Not all white people. It's all of us. Because in the same way that we get tarnished with as a collective and we're punished as a collective as black people, now you need to start taking the heat. And those of you that get it, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. You know already. It's those of you that are screaming, you're indicating to us, you're telling us through your behavior and your words, your actions and deeds, that you are part of the problem. Because rather than doing the work, rather than sitting down and doing the unknown and think to yourself, oh my God, this could have been me and mine, or, do you know, this is a horrible thing to happen. You've come out today and you've decided to try and point fingers at a community who don't care about you, because we're exhausted and we're tired. And it's going to backfire. And this is how I feel. Yeah, they need to go through it. And that's why I'm sitting here laughing. Not at the death of any human being, but at the fact that they're so stupid they fall into it each and every time. You have got reform and restore. You're voting in. Someone was put in the chat, oh, I can't wait for restore to come in power. I said, good for you. Let us know how that's going for you when you're in the soup kitchen line. Because these people are not going to do anything for you. They don't care about you. The fact that they're weaponizing you and whipping up, Tommy Tendems to come up and protest on the streets, how has that benefited you? You're not taking time to educate yourself. White people can always tell us about, educate me. No. When you're fussing up yourself going into India to learn about yoga and telling us as black people about veganism, despite the fact that we've got Rastafarianism and idol communities, you don't do that. But you want to come and tell us how we should feel when we are responding to a genuine harm and threat to our community. It doesn't make sense. Then you go on to our panels and want to tell us about, but you're being used. Fascism and racism is already here, boo-boo.
Oh, good evening.
It's already
what
here.
are we talking about today?
It's already here. And some of you, yes, the one interrupting, some of you from the brown community as well. When your colleague was out there doing up anti-Islamophobia in his restaurant and stuff, what did you do? When he was aligning himself to Tommy Robinson and Tommy Temnims, what did you do? But yet again, it's a black woman, it's black people that are sitting here defending the thing and saying that, you know what, we know we have to work in community. We know that we've been out here on these streets. We are sympathetic to your plight because what's happened shouldn't affect all Asian people. But as the black community, we have to face that on a regular basis. I have got my elected officials referencing Enoch Powell in speeches. The Greysdale Starmer was referencing the River of Blood speech. I've also got Emily Thornberry last week or the week before denigrating Notting Hill Carnival, talking about how Arsenal, which is a black team, big up them, South London, always, every day, talking about how they were at the, it was Notting Hill Carnival with illicit cannabis. Now, from an elected official, she should know better. She even attacked the white community, but they didn't do anything about it with their flags, but that's another story. But rather than actually deep how offensive it is, it's on us as black people to say, hold on a minute, Emily, you're out of order. Because Notting Hill Carnival, my beloved carnival, was born out of process against what? We were protesting the treatment, the mistreatment and degradation of my black community, my black Caribbean community when we arrived from the Mangrove 9. And so that's why you look at it as a street festival, but for us it's a protest movement. And so every time they try and attack it and we try to say to you, there's a reason why we have to have the carnival here. It's you man talking about, it's violent, it's all the rest of it. You don't think about your football matches. You don't think about every other time you lot congregate, you have violence. Or Glastonbury and the amount of people that have drugs there, but you want to continue to denigrate my community. You've got no business being in our discussions or on our panels when you don't understand that your co-option of the White Lives Matter or Black Lives Matter movement is to your own detriment because you're doing what the establishment wants. You're focusing on black people and brown people when you should be saying to the police, you're not fit for purpose, start funding stuff properly and pull your finger out. You're a disgrace.
Thank you, Mimi. You get the clap. You get the clap. I want to pick up on the Notting Hill thing, right? Too many people don't even understand how Notting Hill Carnival actually started. Let me tell you the story if you don't know it. Kelso Cochrane. This is what real activism looks like, white people, because again, all you're trying to do is just co-op stuff that black people do, but this is what our activism looks like. Kelso Cochrane, Notting Hill, London, May 17th, 1959, just after midnight. Having had his finger, which he had broken at work, replastered at a local hospital, Kelso Cochrane was walking home. He was quite near the house in which he shared a room with his partner Olivia when a gang of white youths surrounded him. They called him many racist, insulting names, punched, pushed, thumped, and then poked him. When he collapsed, they ran away. 2 black men walking nearby rushed over. A taxi stopped. Cochrane was picked up, put in the cab, but by the time they reached the nearby hospital, he had stopped breathing. Someone called a reporter at the Sunday Respect and said white youths had poked a key, we'll call him, named Cochrane. That was what a white person had told the papers. That's what racism looks like. It does not look like the fact that there was a white boy poked by a brown boy and then the police didn't do their duty. We have centuries of history in the UK of this kind of story. You have one case right now or 2 cases right now of someone of another colour doing it to white people. It's so rare that it happens to white people in the UK that you have to search deep into the internet to find this kind of stuff. White people acting like they're oppressed and racist things happen to them in the UK. Why are you so desperate to have the black experience? Because the black experience is traumatizing. It is horrific, the things that black people, we have to go through. It is horrific. So why are you so desperate to go through the same thing? Why are you so desperate to think that everything is racist? It does not make sense at all. It really makes no sense.
Let me tell you how stupid these people are. Someone's put in the comments, no white people get unalived at football. Now, I'm in my mid-40s. I remember distinctly Hillsborough. I remember the shame of the state standing by whilst it was the working class whitey people having to go mash up the things on the pitch to get those people to hospital, and then they were blamed, and then the community was denigrated as well. This is what I'm saying. You guys aren't very smart, because when it comes back to it, time and time again, the state proves to you that they don't value you, they don't like you, and you fall for the same okey-doke all the time. And it's embarrassing. One of the tenets of white tea supremacy, because there's 15 tenets of white tea supremacy culture, let me run through it quickly. Perfectionism, sense of urgency, defensiveness, quality over quality, paternalism, binary either or thinking, power hoarding, fear of open conflict, individualism, and the right to comfort. It is the right for comfort that I see a lot of you demonstrating. I'm not racist. I didn't do that. It was so long ago. You don't think about how you're all plugged into this system. You don't think about how the things that you do to harm us will invariably come back to bite you on your backside. Hillsborough took how many years for them to even acknowledge that there was an issue? Even now, they've not got justice. So the fact that you're even saying that people don't get unalived at football, some of the safety stuff, protocols that happen at football today has been of the advocacy of black and brown people and working class white people because of what has happened. The fact that you don't even realize that yourself, and you're coming into these lives and you're being so willfully disrespectful and obtuse tells me that what needs to happen is what's going to happen now. The chickens are coming home to roost, and I feel sorry for you. I really do, because no one should want to wish ill on anybody else. But sometimes, as we say in the Jamaicans, as we say back home, if you don't listen, you're going to feel. Because we're tired of talking. You cannot wish the downfall of me and not think it's not going to harm you. That's not the laws. Karma don't work like that. We're all in this together. There are people out here that are not eating, that are working full time. There are people out here. You know, the worst thing about it as well is this boy has died. The laws that were done has meant that his family can't even get proper justice, because the legal aid that used to be there for you to take the state to court and hold the police to account, you're not allowed for it to be removed, because you said that there were too many black and brown people that were bringing cases against the police. You played yourselves. You're clowns.
Good points. Excellent points again. Very, very, very good points. This is exactly it. Like we say, this system and the way the systems were set up were only ever to benefit the 1%. They've only been able to benefit the 1%. I talk a lot on here about history. I talk a lot about the Industrial Revolution. I talk about the working class, the fact that they've been scapegoated and they've been enslaved. I talk about all of this kind of stuff. But again, because you're so easily moldable and easily manipulated, all you do is continue that same line. And you still always see black and brown people as a problem, even though we're always fighting all of the time against the system. It's honestly terrible, and this is exactly what's going to happen. The consequences have arrived of hundreds of years of this same bullshit behaviour. It really is. Okay, we're going to go now to Still Got Faith again, and Bobby, and then we're going to finish, because I've been on live almost all day. 3.5 hours here, 2.5 hours in the morning. This is a crazy day. So yes, last two people, and then I will go. So yes, Still Got Faith. What have you got to add now, please? You were up here earlier. What more?
Yeah, I'm not even lie, that the sister that spoke before, she hit so many points that I was literally going to say. And especially the chicken coming home to roost. It speaks back to people looking at trigger words and not looking at the context. Just like when Malcolm X said the chickens came home to roost, he wasn't praising Kennedy's death. He was actually saying the system and energy you create will come back and bite on a blot in your ass. And that's literally what happened. He wasn't saying that Kennedy's death was a good thing. He was saying the climate of hate that you created is going to come back and it killed your chief messenger. That's what he was
Please
saying.
censor your language a bit. I
So,
think I told you before to censor. You're using particular language that gets.
and I
us
think it's
down
the first. I think it's the first time you said it, but I apologize if I said something out of turn. But yeah, the sister covered most of the points. But I was just so happy, and this I feel bad saying this, but I'm so happy that none of the characters in that scenario were black, the police officers or the killer. You know why? It would be a totally different story today. When Tommy Robinson was speaking in Southampton, he started on Muslims. Why did he mention Muslims? There wasn't one Muslim present in that scene, unless one of those white police officers had converted and they didn't make it public. There was
Well, we
no
know what they're
Muslims in
doing.
that scene.
This is why we've got to be smarter. But we keep asking white English people to be smarter. Unfortunately, then they can't do it. We know exactly why. Because they want a race war. That's why black people have been dragged into this. This is why they've been going at Muslims already for like hundreds of years. Well, since the 1950s,
Thank you.
right? 75 years, they've already been going at them. So now they're bringing it. And we've already seen when it comes to things like, like disability claimant, the fact that they had to target the disabled community. All these things are just really going at any type of community that is not the 1%, that is not a rich white guy who is not a PDF file. Because we know this is all about the PDF file class. It's literally
100%.
all about them. All of the white men at the top who want to break all the rules, who want to beat their wives, who want to do all disgusting things. It's only about protecting them and making sure that they can get so high that the justice system does not affect them. This is why you've got somebody like Trump in power. It's going to be exactly the same thing in the UK. You are literally protecting these kind of people who will then turn around and do the most heinous things to you. And that's how it works in British culture. This is white culture, unfortunately. This is exactly it.
And you see what people are experiencing now is what we've been experiencing our whole existence. Oh, you got a chip on your shoulder. Oh, it isn't that bad. The police aren't racist. I've been stopped 10 times today, mate. What was that for? And it's crazy because when we speak out about why are we being included in this, when we speak out, we're racist. When you know that in this structure, we can't be racist. That's actually impossible. But it's actually retarded to even associate us with this situation.
Please don't use ableist language. Please don't use ableist language. Don't use that word. I'm going to move to the next person now, though. Still got faith. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. Okay, Bo B, you're the last person on here. Bo BB, sorry. You're the last person on the panel, and then I'm going to finish for today. So I've asked you to unmute your mic. What would you like to add to the conversation, please?
What it is, I must have requested by accident because it was my automatic clicker. But I want to say that you've made my day. This is a best kind of panel on this subject at the moment. You've given me hope, seriously. But it was my automatic clicker that clicked the request. So you've got a few more thousand likes coming to boost the to boost the cast. Thank you anyway. You really brightened my day.
Thank you so much. That was a lovely compliment at the end to end the live. Thank you. That's really made me feel very happy. So thank
You're welcome,
you.
Sister.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Guys, thank you for the gift. Thank you. So we're wrapping it up. Again, let's summarize, okay? Let's summarize. It has been a very interesting day for life and a very interesting stint right now. I think at one point there was like 650 people here, which is quite large, okay? It was quite large. And shout out, as always, to my mods here. Truly and truly really appreciate the moderators here because you have a very tough job to do. I also, of course, have a tough job because if I'm bringing things like controversial subjects like this to the table, I have to always make sure that people are able to stick on topic, which is very difficult, right? When you've got people who haven't really regulated their emotions and they're not quite understanding why these topics are as the topic. I try my best to have the most patience with them as I can, but we see what happens every single time, right? They end up crashing out and they end up getting personal towards me, saying things about me. And I don't say anything about anyone here individually. You see, you can't find me saying anything. Unless they come at me, then I'm like, you sound too stupid. But even then, I don't really say that. I say that your intellectual level is not high enough for this conversation. But that's it. I don't go down to the level of the people who come to this space and just say kind of all kinds of nonsense and don't actually want to take time to listen, right? I can't go down that level. I don't want to go down to that level. I will continue to have these kind of conversations. I will continue to talk about these kind of things. This is my other account is my 5th TikTok account.
This is finishing up now, bro. I'm going to go after that.
Sorry?
She just had me on panel.
No?
Me clicker clipped it.
Oh yeah, yes, I heard. I heard. I'll drop you now then. So if you don't know how to do it, I will unclick you. So your clicker, I've unclicked you.
Sorry, but before you go, because I have to keep saying this to you because I need you to understand. I'm so thankful and appreciative of what you do on this app. I know it's not easy. I can see the physical toll and the spiritual toll it has as well, but it's needed. Thank you to Leanne and to your mods as well. But I need us. You are the face. You are being personally attacked. We saw what was happening. We saw them trying to, swap the panel. I need people who understand what Fox is doing to be out here clicking it up, supporting, doing what needs to be done. We are living in a time where you are more likely to see people talking about the Yahtzee people and getting away with it than people who are doing what Fox has showed us what we should all be doing, fact-checking information, not taking stuff at granted. Even when it supports her case, she still wanted to take the time to check that it was verified and substantiated. That is a skill that I do not see people do it. And just even that little time, allowing people to say, hold on, where did you get that from? Let me go and check it. Let me put it in perspective is what we need to see happening more on this app. And again, it's always Black women that are leading this. And I have to salute you every time, Fox, because I don't think you realize how impactful it is for us to see that in practice, and hopefully it gives people who were on the prefaces, who were on that kind of that pause to say, hold on a minute, when I'm on other panels, they're just taking stuff but fact. But on that other panel, yes, she was saying stuff that I didn't want to hear, but she actually was balanced enough to go and check it. And even when you was dealing with the other person who was recording from the other live as well, you were respectful. Now, we know damn well that respect would not have been on the other side as well. That needs to be to your credit. And I need people to understand and boost up Fox. When you see people doing stuff, you go in there and you say that it's unacceptable. If you don't make that stand, if you don't say that behavior is unacceptable, then it will continue. And we can't allow that as well. Everything that's happening is happening for a reason, whether or not you believe it spiritually, physically, or whatever. But what we can't allow happening is people to feel that it's okay and acceptable to do that, because we've seen the consequence of what this happens now. So I'm going to drop down now, but every time, big up yourself, Fox, pour into yourself. I need you to understand, we are so appreciative of what you're doing. Please, thank you. Keep going. So I know it's a lot for us to ask, but we need you to understand that we appreciate you, yeah? Leanne, big up yourself. I hope you feel better soon.
Thank you so much, Mimi. Really appreciate those words. It's a lot to do this and to be the face and to talk and put myself out there, but I know that this is a position that I've been challenged by the universe to be able to step into. This has been a long time coming. And I'm very, very happy and very glad that there's always people here who come and understand the messaging and understand what we're supposed to be doing as Black people, as brown people, as anybody from a marginalized community, because this is about us, who is actually the global majority. Everything that I talk about on this platform is always about empowering the global majority. It is our time to shine. It is our time to re-rise again because of what the oppressors have done to us. This is exactly what we do on this platform. So again, thank you so much for those kind words, Mimi. Thank you so much to everybody in the chat who also has something lovely to say. I appreciate it so much. I haven't even eaten today. This is how much the topic has been so hot today. I haven't even eaten. I've literally been functioning on water, and you guys can hear, yesterday, I haven't been well since Sunday, but I came on live yesterday and I felt more energized for being on live. And actually I feel a lot better today. It's very hot where I am now, so that's why my fan is on. So I will be back again soon as well. Thank you so much, everybody. And thank you to Leanne, who is also my panel moderator. Thank you so much for helping out again. Honestly, really love and appreciate you guys, especially when all that bullshit was happening in the chat. We have all of the trolls that come, we have all the racists that come, and you guys always stay steady, because it doesn't matter what's happening out on the street. Sometimes we have to deal with the same stuff online, right? And I hope that you feel comfortable. I hope that you feel stable enough. I hope you feel protected enough. Because you see me, I ain't rattled by racists, because we work here together to fight the racism, to challenge racism, and to make sure that they don't have their voices heard, because they're too fucking loud. Our voices need to be louder. That's how it is.
Girl, I need to give you a big fat hug. Big fat hug. This has been a really long ass live. We've gone through the trenches.
Girl.
To be fair, is this our first clickbait where we've been clipped in another live? I can't lie. Everyone, let's give a round of applause. We made it. We actually made it, guys.
I made it.
We really made it
to another live. Everyone in the comment section,
we
like,
love
you're
that.
On another live. You're being streamed. You're on TV. I'm like, oh, good thing I put my makeup on today. I look okay. Like, I put myself together.
I don't think you understand. I was so confused because I haven't been on this app yet. So I opened it. The first thing I see is your face, but I'm like, wait, I don't see Fox's name. What's going on? And I see is, yeah, how does she know that he was bullied? Yeah, how does this one? And I'm like, wait, hold on. Fox, as far as I remember, Fox doesn't have a manly voice. So let me just check this out. And I said, wait, it's Fox. I said, wait, hold up a second. And then all I see is everyone in the comments, yeah, Leanne is the delusive person, it's this person. I'm like, oh, okay, we all clocked onto the BS, no problem. I thought I had to come and give a little warning, but I don't. But you know what? I always have to big up everybody that is always in these lives. Big everybody up, because everybody clocked onto the BS in the comment section. Everyone clocked onto the, oh, she's trying to do her big one, and the big ones weren't big back in, they were small back in, and you know, they sent their strongest shoulders and they still failed. We love that. You know what, guys? Next time, send a stronger army so we can actually. We love debating. You know, like next time, if you guys want, we can really discuss the difference between the late Henry and the late George. Like, I'm all for that, because apparently you guys the brain cells are really lacking that you guys don't even know the difference between both deaths. Yes. So, yeah, you know what? If you guys see more lives about that, please ping it to me. You guys know I'm always up for being in the racist, stupid lives. I'm all up for being in the stupid people's lives and whatnot. But in the same breath, yeah, I'm not standing there for racism at the same time. Like, we can do better. Exactly. But I'm glad that everyone mass called it out.
I like to call you like a soldier on the ground. You're like the ground soldier who goes around and like scopes the situation, and then you bring it back to the headquarters and be like,
Yeah, I'm like, guys, by the way, this character on TikTok, I've been fighting them already. They've already called me the N-word a couple times on this app. And I'm like, okay, they've made it into Fox's space. Let's see what's going to do. Shem, she's a known racist in this app. Like, she's been saying a whole bunch of derogatory stuff. And even in the comment section, she was like, can you please hurry up? Like, we need to speak.
Well,
I'm like,
thing,
okay.
Right? Like, you guys see that when we have these sort of people, everybody gets a chance on the panel. Everybody. And if they start being personal or they start crashing out or something, that's literally the only thing that gets them dropped here. But again, with that, I can't remember that person's name, Evil something. It's like, you're trying to do a gotcha moment. You're expecting me to say certain things. But the thing is, you've probably never spoken to a black person in your life. You have a perception of what black people say and a perception of how black people behave. Because I've never heard a single person say that George Floyd was amazing. I've never heard a single person say that he's like the poster child for Black Lives Matter. It's never happened. We didn't do that. We talked about many different names. Sandra Bland, Fernando Castro. We talked about many different people. The only reason why it escalated is because we all saw what happened to George Floyd and the fact that it was a police officer in broad daylight. That's what triggered us all. And it triggered everybody worldwide. And Fifi has said it, and Mimi has said it. White people, if you're expecting us to stand next to you in your activism, it's not going to happen. It will never happen, because you've not actually understood what activism is supposed to do. Now what you're doing is you're trying to make it into a race war, but we will never bite. You're just going to fight yourselves, and you're trying to fight us, and we will fight back. Like, that's literally how it is. Because you're so easily manipulated. We're still doing our shit out here. We're still educating ourselves. We're still working. We're still making money. We're still going to school. We're still trying to better ourselves in a system that was not set up for us. That's how it works in the UK. It's not set up for us. But if you are so uneducated and you're not willing to go to the next level, it is game over for you. We are not going to be affected at all. We will not be affected in any way, shape or form. Even when you look at the news with the Southampton thing recently, what happened? You're looking at other white people on the news being like, they trashed up my street. It's white people. It's all white people in the footage. It's none of us. White people.
You know what's even more funnier? This is a bit off topic, but it's quite funny. Where everyone says racism doesn't exist. So we've had the World Cup. We had Haiti play. Was it yesterday or the day before? We had Haiti play. I want everyone to go and listen to the way the BBC reported the Haiti match. That Haiti is so poor that they didn't even deserve to be in the World Cup because they're actually. What was it? I was like, am I really seeing? The reporter talk about Haiti like this? Like I'm really confused. Yeah. Saying, what was it saying? Oh, they're so poor. You know, this is a glimmer of hope. What else was the reporter saying? And I was like, there is no way BBC are saying this about a country in the World Cup.
Weren't they saying something before about they were not qualified enough, or they were too overly qualified because of some certain, not because, like, they were saying that they shouldn't have got through because of some reason, but actually they were just more skillful. Or maybe I'm saying what you're saying. Maybe that is what I heard. This was a few weeks ago, right, that they said this? Or are you saying that they said it again?
No, it was. Yeah, they played. Did they play yesterday or the day before? They played yesterday, I think it was, or the day before, one of them, and they won their match. And basically, the BBC reported it and said, "Well, yeah, they are like literally the poorest people ever. They don't deserve to be in the World Cup." I was like, "Wait, huh? Yeah, historically, they've had no money, no assets." I was like, "Wait, huh? What?"
So football was created by the working class in the UK. They've forgotten actually who created football. It was white working class men in the UK who were poor who came up with the game of football. So now they're trying to gentrify a game that was actually born in the country and trying to make it elitist. Football? Elitist?
Yeah. Like, if you go listen to the report, it's actually like, I thought it was like an AI video. Genuinely, I thought it was AI. But I was like, no, this is BBC. Like, this is big BBC. And I said, hell to the nah. These times, Haiti weren't allowed to be in the World Cup. I think it's been a long time since Haiti's been in the World Cup. So for right now, for Haitians, this is like a big ass thing. And maybe it's just like, they're poor, they're broke, they live in poverty.
Oh, are you there? Your signal dropped out. But yeah, that is exactly it. It is exactly it. Like, I really, I feel myself very conflicted when it comes to England playing football. And this is the last thing I'll say because I need to go and I need to eat. The last thing I say is that when I see England play, it breaks my heart because, of course, the black players in that, I want them to do so freaking well. I want them to win. I want them to do all these things. But at the same time, because of English ego and them being like, we won the World Cup, well, like 1966, and we hear about it every freaking year. You don't deserve to win ever again. That's literally it. Because of your arrogancy and your ego. The same thing with Eurovision. The same thing with, like, not Olympics though, because Olympics is about the individual, right? So in Olympics, I feel kind of differently. And it's Great Britain as well. So that's everybody, Scotland, Wales, Ireland, right? But when it comes to England football, I'm always kind of thinking, you don't deserve to win. Like, you don't deserve to win. Because every time, if a black person does something wrong, we know this, that they literally come for them, any excuse. And black men are purposely getting set up now. They're purposely getting set up. And, you know, every time that's going to happen, like, England is too fucking racist as a country. It's too racist as a country. They haven't learned anything. And so they now need to suffer the consequences of their own behavior. So again, I told you guys I was going to end the live. No, I'm still here, but I'm definitely going now. So thank you so much, everybody. Again, thank you so much to everybody who's still here. Look who's now remaining at the end. You are the strongest soldiers because you are at the end now. Everybody else is here. All the racists, they crashed out early. They've left. Of course, a lot of them have been blocked too. But the fact of the matter is you guys stayed and you are the future of the world. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you again to the mods. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Right, see you again another time, guys. Bye.